Yo, what's good, travelers? Here we are again and again and again. Yeah, with us this time around is my namesake, Lawane Matule, aka Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf. Well, like, how did you get that name?
That name was given to me actually. It was like kind of a rite of passage to the place where I started doing poetry. It was called the Test Kitchen, if you know it. So I was given to it by the then owner, Society. So yeah.
By the way, I never asked you how you're doing.
I'm good. I'm really great.
That's dope. So, now you wear many hats. Figuratively speaking. Could you please share with us how those hats make their way into your life and why you chose to wear, them with such pride?
Well, first of all, I think in my journey trying to figure myself out as an artist, I feel like a lot of things chose me. Growing up, I loved film. I loved watching film. I was obsessed with film. I remember they would stay with me. Some films would really stay with me, and I couldn't get over that it had ended. I remember one conversation that I had with myself after a movie. I asked myself, what do you want? Don't tell me you want to be an actress, please, because, So I knew I wanted to do something like that. I knew I wanted, but not be an actress. So as the journey continued, I learned that I loved writing, and then I came to Whale College to study writing and directing, which I am right now. So the many hats that you speak of is writing, both screenwriting, film, and directing, and then the occasional poetry.
If my memory serves me well, we met at an open mic session.
Yes, you did.
Was it which one? I think Test Kitchen.
I believe so. Yes.
Test
I believe
Kitchen.
it was the test.
Yeah, they say everyone you meet them for a reason. So I guess ours is still kind of unfolding, but this is definitely a part of it.
Yeah.
Why did you get into reciting?
Into reciting poetry?
Yeah.
I loved when I was in junior school. I did literature, and I loved the poets. And I've never been. Then I wasn't a confident person. But I loved and trusted the words more than I trusted my own self. So I thought, let the words be, for me, sort of like a mask. Like what Superman wears so that he can save people. He doesn't do that as Clark Kent with his glasses and whatnot. So for me, those words were, that cover that I needed, that suit that I needed to wear to be confident and to talk about, because I had so many opinions, I had so many thoughts going through my head, and I believe poetry was an outlet for me to talk about, what was going on in my mind. Yeah.
Cool. That's a nice analogy.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, as a final year student,
yes.
How has your field of study influenced your daily life? If at all. I mean, you see people you interact with as characters in your own movie. Do you sometimes find yourself writing a certain character into your life type thing?
Recently someone said that there's no experience there's no emotion in the human existence that you cannot connect to, right? And so it helped me move out of a space from characters that I felt like I can't write this type of story or this type of character because it's not me. They don't go along my beliefs and stuff like that. So when I'm writing my final year project, I've written characters that are so far and beyond what I am as a person, and I believe
characteristics.
And yes, those distinct characteristics, and it helps me explore different choices are what make us who we are, right? So certain choices that I could never make, a character of mine could make. So it's exploring myself, but also going out of myself, out of body experiences with my characters, and I always find a way to connect with them, no matter how wrong they are. I always find a way to connect, and that is the human experience. I mean, there is always a point or a line in which where you connect. Like, I get why you can be this way. I can get why Thanos did what he did. Although I personally disagree with what he did. So yeah.
When you're watching a movie, like, you often find yourself like critiquing.
Yes.
Like as a reflex action, maybe the way it's.
Studying film. I mean, being in a film school, you learn the elements, so many elements behind the camera, what goes on behind the camera, for you to have that finished product. So I always see those little mistakes that you don't see in continuity, that dialogue that is a bit, too much, or it doesn't fit the story, or those editing mistakes. I always notice that, right now. But I feel like to enjoy film, I have to turn off that element, so yeah.
So you're telling me you've gotten to the point where you can actually turn it on or off, on and off?
Yes, I feel like I've enjoyed film way before I came to film school, and someone told me that it can take you 2 years to make a film and 2 hours to unmake it, or to just ruin the whole thing. Because the artists who make the film, they know the sweat and tears, the blood, sweat, and tears that went into the project. But the audience know nothing of it. They just judge it and critique it in that moment. So I don't feel it. I don't see it as a disadvantage that I always see the mistakes. But I appreciate film more. I appreciate the elements that I learned in class, that I see them being put out there through the whole show or film or whatever that I'm watching. So yeah, it's fun. I can turn it off sometimes to other films because I enjoy maybe the director or I enjoy the actor. So yeah.
Let me ask you something. Like, which film director do you look up to, locally or internationally?
Internationally, I wouldn't say specifically. I really love Guillermo del Toro because growing up, you never care about who the director is, who the writer is. You cared about the actors. You only knew the actors. And then coming to film school, I know the producers, I know the writers and the directors, and I realized the type of films that I love. Because I love to write epic films, fantasy films. That is my passion. And when I looked back to my childhood at my favorite films, Hellboy, Blade, Avatar, Guillermo del Toro wrote 2 of those films, and I realized I connected with him in terms of that, and I've been following him and what he does, and then I'd say he's a director that I very much like and that I aspire to make a film such as well as he does. He tells these great, fantastical stories that people relate to, and yeah.
What do you think about the current space of our movie industry, our film industry?
I think right now there's so much buzz. I feel a spark beneath the surface because everyone is going out and there's little support here and there. You pick is commissioning shows. I feel like ever since the premiere Subways, which I assisted as the second assistant director and script supervisor, and going to the cinema and seeing people's reaction, that was so beautiful. That was like one of the best nights ever. And that event, I could see that have the attention of the audience or of society, and they want more. And they will get more eventually, because now people are seeing the needs, the reason why you need to inject finances into the entertainment industry. I mean, literally, Hollywood has run out of stories. And right now, all the big shows are reruns, are recreations. The Matrix, those Sex in the City, they're recreations. Yeah, Dune. They've run out of stories, and what they're doing is they're venturing out of the countries, and Africa is one of those countries because they want to tell African stories, and the world is hungry to know, to learn about African culture and history. So there's so much that is coming, and I'm so excited to be in this moment as an artist graduating, because a few months ago I was freaking out. I didn't want to go into this world where people still didn't understand that you can go to school for film, or you can choose it as a career and stuff like that. So yeah.
I was watching a vlog by Naomi Knott. I don't know if you know her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she also schools here.
Yeah, I know her.
She was talking about the same thing that you are, about the fear. She had the fear about, okay, I've graduated now, so now what? What's going to happen with the industry, in bots and everything. So she's like, all in all, she's just hoping that things work out. So hearing you talk about how you have hope, for everything, I think it kind of puts me in a better space, for her, kind of. I don't know if you get it. Yeah. Okay, so with regards to poetry, right? Is there a particular performance of yours that you felt was right up there?
I think it was my first experience with it, going to the test kitchen, because I had never performed, and it was so magical. But then there's another performance. It was at Princeton Lounge, and I was performing a poem. And what I liked especially about this particular night was the photographer there took a picture of me, and it looked like I was singing. And I don't sing, I do not have a singing voice, but I love how he, took the picture. I look so artistic. I've never felt that I look like that.
That you're talking about. Yeah, it was
so that was my picture. And then there's this other night that was so magical and so powerful. We had this woman do a rendition piece about rape. And then after that, I think she inspired so much from the audience and from the performance that every performance after that became about victimization and abuse. And I remember that it started raining outside, so we came in, and the air was so tense, and everyone held hands together, and we shared a moment of silence, for victims, and to stop or break the silence. And I feel like that was art. I was like, God, this is why, art is so powerful, and it's important to be able to share a moment like that, because you are moved by a piece, so those are my top 3 favorite moments.
Who's your favorite Smith? Locally
or anywhere?
Anywhere.
Right now, I am very much into this other artist called Seeker. And his poetry is just, he gets me. I wouldn't even describe it as poetry, but he just writes lines that just get to me, and they're so beautiful. My phone is so filled with his quotes. So if you can ask another question, and I will share with you one of the piece as I look for it.
There's a poet, I don't know if you know her, called Royal Black.
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah, she's also, I think she's there's not a lot of poets that I know locally, but
Yeah.
you know, she's coming up nice. I think she's right up there. I like her pieces.
In that venue. Yeah.
And then in terms of film, right? How far do you want to take it?
I mean, I want to take it as far as it can be taken. I mean, I feel like for me, my dreams. So I always tell myself that my journey into becoming who I am at this moment, it's always of a fairy tale type of thing. Because I have encounters that are too good to be true. When I tell other people how I got into writing, and I just got carried away. Can you ask me the question again? When I think about it, it's very.
In terms of film,
Where do I want to go?
where do you want to take it?
I want to be successful to a point where I can be able to help someone else achieve their dream. I can be able to hand over the baton, if you will, to help them. So I deem my success or how far I want to take myself to that point. I want to be able to go to the Oscars or the Cannes Film Festivals. That's the future that I want for myself. Even if it's just going there to actually see it. I want to, because I feel like in my journey, I haven't fully discovered how far I can go. Because at every step, I'm given an opportunity that I question, am I ready for this? And I always shut up because your head is is your worst enemy. It will tell you you're not worthy enough, you're not ready for this. But when I'm given the opportunity, I always jump, yes, I'll do it. And as we're going, as I'm worrying, I realize that I'm actually doing it. Like that gig I did for Subways. That's how I got Subways. First year, because the writer-director is a lecturer of mine and a mentor. So first year, when I came to the school, he was a lecturer for narrative, writing and directing. And he was talking about this film that he was writing and that he was intending to shoot. And I remember I raised my hand, I was like, can I assist when you go to shoot? And he was like, okay, yeah, sure, of course. And then last year, he told me he was shooting it, and I went on to be his second assistant and then script supervisor, which are very difficult jobs that I had never done before, but I'm told I did well. So I'm always elevating at every chance that I get, and the sky is the limit. After we reach the sky, we'll be reaching for some other extra-planetary whatever. So, yeah.
Random question. A plane ticket and $10,000, $10K. Where are you going? What are you spending it on?
Plane ticket and $10,000.
Pula.
Pula. I'm going to SA to see the sea. I'm going with my family to take them there and just, have a crazy wild time. Yeah, that's what I do.
What is it about the sea that fascinates you?
The sound of the water, and the sand. It feels like a poem I read once, or the stream that I once had, just smelling salt in the air, and maybe a seagull flying. I just want to have that feeling.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Do you freelance?
Yeah, I write a lot. Right now, if I told you the number of things that I'm working on, you would not believe me.
You've actually worked on a script for me, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that was dope.
So, thank you.
I'm still working on funding. But as far as everything else, you know what I mean? You did a stellar job.
Thank
freelancing. If someone wants to reach you, you know.
If someone wants to reach me,
Yeah.
oh, okay. You can reach me on my Facebook page. I'm Laune Lorraine Matule, Lorraine with an A. Might have been the labor pains or whatever, because Lorraine is spelled with an O. Or my mother just literally, because I have a twin, both her names are Laura Lorraine. I mean, Laura Lone, and then mine had to be Laune and Lorraine with an A. So that's where you can contact me, or just, if I give my number online,
Nah, it's
gonna
cool.
have a lot of people.
They could reach you via Facebook.
Yeah, via Facebook. Or at Instagram, it's at Matule Laune.
Would you mind if I ask you to recite your favorite piece?
My favorite piece. Oh, I haven't recited in so long. Okay. Just the verse. Okay, so this piece is titled Still Don't Know My Name. I've realized a lot of my poetry is about searching and finding what it means to me to be African in this world. So yeah, this is a very personal piece for me. Still don't know my name. I was discovered over 500 years ago by someone who had become a god that discredited my gods and would later shove religion down my throat, because everything I was pagan. Unholy, I was undeserving of the Eden I had been placed in. Beautiful land, rich in minerals, majestic creatures. They took them all away from me. My birthright, my name. But even now, 500 plus years later, I still look in the mirror. And what do I see? Stranger. You still don't know my name. That's the first verse. Yeah, so yeah. That's what I'll be sharing.
I don't know if I've told you this, but that one is one of my favorites. And the other one where it's like an ode to your beliefs. I don't know if you remember it. You're paying homage and ode to as a Christian.
Yeah,
right?
I think I remember it.
Yeah, so those two are like my favorite.
Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite as well.
Any last words before?
Yes, I found a quote. I found a poem from Seeker. It's what he called Overcoming. Until you stop resisting yourself, you will not stop sabotaging yourself. And I feel like that is a very important message as an artist also. Stop fighting with what you want to say. Fearing also what people will say, and so much so be free. The blank page is nothing to be scared of. It's to liberate you.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's interesting, because a few days ago I had an epiphany about how your path seems to get easier once you stop standing in your own way.
True.
So this is, I just got chills when you were reading.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh
Seeker does that a lot.
Okay. All right. With that being said, thank you so much, Lone Wolf, for agreeing to this interview.
Thank you.
Our film industry needs you and those like you. You know what I mean? And I pray that our industry realizes that it needs you before another one does.
True.
Because you're out of here. You know what I mean? With the experience that you're already gaining, you know what I mean? That's portfolio right here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a heavy pop. The Subways alone, that's a heavy portfolio. So shout out to you, you know what I mean? With that being said, super shout out to those who tuned in. Much love to each and every one of y'all. See y'all when the stars align. Peace.